If you do one nice thing for yourself today, you'll feel pretty good. But imagine how you'd feel if you did 19,000 nice things for yourself. 19,000 makes a big difference. That's why Now Supplements performs 19,000 tests every month to ensure you get the highest quality supplements at the best price possible. Like their vegan, non-GMO Magtine, a patented innovative form of magnesium. Now Supplements, 19,000 reasons to feel good spending less. Learn more at nowfoods.com/purpose. We're good at oscillating between extremes. We go from, I hate myself, to I'm the best person in the world. And in this case, we go from, I'm going to do a lot, I'm going to plan a lot, I'm going to be the most productive person in the world at peak performance, I'm the one. And then on the other side, it's like, I want to do nothing this weekend. And that creates somewhat of a difficult environment to live in.
The #1 health and wellness podcast.
Jay Shetty.
Jay Shetty.
The one, the only Jay Shetty.
Hey everyone, welcome back to On Purpose. I am so grateful to be back with you for another session. And I want to say thank you to all of you who are showing all your love, showing up, being present, learning, growing, sharing the episodes, leaving reviews. It means the world to me right now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And like I always do say, if you do see me somewhere, come say hey. A lot of you did it at the airport yesterday. I've been traveling around a bit right now. And I loved bumping into so many of you that I saw in Orlando and then Chicago. I'm on my way to New York. And it's been a real joy. Thank you so much for all the love you show me and that you show On Purpose. Now, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I feel it's so important that we use this as an opportunity to deepen our connection with our mental health, to help the people around us, to use it as an opportunity to do better for ourselves and for others. And I'm so grateful because I'm partnering up and an ambassador for NAMI, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. And they're the largest grassroots mental health organization in the United States. NAMI helps provide advocacy, education, support, and public awareness so that all individuals and families affected by mental health conditions can lead better lives. And if you or someone you know is struggling with mental health, there is help. Call NAMI helpline at 800-950-NAMI or go to www.nami.org/help or text helpline to 62640. For immediate 24/7 crisis support, call or text 988 or visit www.988lifeline.org. I'm so grateful to be partnering with NAMI, and I really do hope that it helps get the message out to so many more people about what they can do. Now, I wanted to share with you my favorite habits for my mental health that I think are powerful, practical, and accessible. I'm not going to go and ask you to learn a new skill. I'm not going to go and ask you to learn how to do something new. These are things anyone can start today. And so if you're someone who's been struggling with anxiety and stress, this episode is for you. If you're someone who's been trying to do so many practices, but they're not working for you, this episode is for you. And if you're someone who knows someone who's struggling, this episode is for you. It may be a child, a partner, a friend, someone you love, a family member, a parent. Check out this episode. It's lots of great, simple insights into small changes that will make a big difference. Now, number one, every night when you're about to go to bed, before you go to bed, as part of your wind down routine, as part of your evening routine, a lot of people have talked about the importance of having an evening routine. The reason is because we almost want our body to act like technology. Technology has an off button. We press off and it powers off. But our off button is more like a power down, where we need time to unwind, we need time to slow down. And because we've got so used to using technology, we want our bodies to react and respond like a laptop, like a phone, but it doesn't do that. So when your head hits the pillow, you're not falling asleep straight away. One part of a great evening routine that can be really powerful for your mental health. And you can do this in a journal. You can do this as a voice note. You can do it out loud with your partner or a roommate or whoever it may be. You could do it over the phone with someone you're close to. But there's one question that you want to answer every evening. What did I accomplish today? What did you accomplish today is the single most important question to ask yourself for your mind in the evening before you go to bed. Now, why is it? It sounds obvious. It's like, oh yeah, I'll feel accomplished. I'll feel good about myself. There's a lot more to it. The whole day or in the evening, you are very likely to subconsciously say to yourself, I can't believe I didn't get that done. Gosh, there's so much left to get done. Oh, and I didn't even get to that thing. Oh, and I've still got all those emails to reply to. We're so used to noting down all the things that we haven't done, all the things that we didn't achieve, all the things that didn't work out, that we easily simply forget the progress that has been made. So it's not neutral. I think we live in a neutral world where we're like, oh, I don't want to pump myself up, like I'm fine. But actually, what we're usually doing is putting ourselves down, right? So I'm not telling you to pump yourself up. I'm not saying to sit there and say, I'm the best, I'm amazing, I did this. It's actually saying, what did I accomplish today? Because chances are your mind's already coming up with the list of what you didn't accomplish. And you might say, all right, I got in a 20-minute workout. I accomplished that today. Whereas usually you'd say, I only got a 20-minute workout. Notice how we do that, right? Even though it's an accomplishment to get in the gym, to get that workout in, maybe you got 6,000 steps and you say to yourself, I only got 6,000 steps. Instead of, I accomplished 6,000 steps, let's go for 7,000 tomorrow. Which one do you think programs you to push a little bit more tomorrow? When you're feeling encouraged or when you're feeling put down? Now, chances are when you're feeling put down, you'll sort it out for the next couple of days, but it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable to constantly speak to yourself negatively and expect a positive result. Let me repeat that again. You can't speak to yourself negatively and expect a positive result. You can't speak to yourself in a way that puts you down to hope that it pulls you up. You can't speak to yourself in a way that is condescending and hope that it's going to make you feel connected to yourself. When we talk bad to ourselves day after day after day, it's impossible for it to lead to something good. And so when you ask yourself the simple question at the end of every day, what did I accomplish today? Make a list of 3 things. I got the laundry done. I did some meal prep. I cooked a great meal. I finished off all my email inbox, even though I still know my text is still left. What did you accomplish? What you're doing is rewiring, reprogramming your mind to also not forget the truth, right? If your friend said to you, hey, I only got this done today, you'd be like, that's amazing. You got 6,000 steps. Good for you. You made it to the gym for 20 minutes. That's amazing. Right? Your reaction would be so different. And I encourage you to do this with the people you love too. This is something that Radhi did for me when I began my health journey, when we were together, especially my physical health. And she was always someone who was committed to going to the gym, committed to her health and well-being. And I was someone who was focused on the mind. And I remember in the beginning, I would still have my sugar addiction. I would still be very much like, oh yeah, I didn't get that done. I didn't get this done. She'd always be like, well, that's amazing. That's great that you made it. That's awesome. Right? And at the same time, education, I think we mistake being hard on ourselves as a replacement for education. I'll explain what I mean by that. Facts can hit harder than you being hard on yourself. Let me say that again. Educating yourself in the facts of something can hit you harder than being hard on yourself. What I mean by that is if someone walks you through the challenging aspects of not working out, if someone walks you through the factual repercussions of what you're consuming mentally or physically, that fact is more likely to push you into growth than you being mean to yourself with no facts. And so I think it's so important that we recognize how we're motivated. Now, all of us are different. Some of us may actually like the hard talk and we may need it, and that's fine too. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't go to sleep focusing on what we've accomplished today and recognizing that it is progress. Okay, number 2. This one is also slightly counterintuitive, but I recommend that if you're struggling with your mental health this month, plan something for yourself and someone else. Build something. Plan a trip, an event, a charity event, a mental health awareness event, whatever it may be, do something. Plan something. Build towards something. Create an opportunity for your mind to be active in working towards something. Hey everyone, it's Jay here. My wife and I have had so much fun creating our own sparkling tea, Junie. And I've got big news for you. It's at Target and we'd love your support. If you can go out, grab a Junie, you'll be adding adaptogens and nootropics into your life with mood-boosting properties aimed at promoting a balanced and happy mind. Through our commitment to our wellness journey and striving to fuel our bodies with the healthiest ingredients, it's been our purpose to make healthy choices accessible for all, which is why Junie is now on shelves at Target. So head to our store locator at drinkjunie.com and find Junie at a Target near you. I think a lot of us believe right now that comfort and not doing anything helps us. And I think that can be true because we're overworked, we're overwhelmed, we're burnt out. And as humans, we're good at oscillating between extremes, right? We basically go between extremes constantly. We go from, I hate myself to I'm the best person in the world. And in this case, we go from, I'm going to do a lot, I'm going to plan a lot, I'm going to be the most productive person in the world at peak performance, I'm the one. And then on the other side, it's like, I want to do nothing this weekend, right? And we oscillate between these extremes, and that creates somewhat of a difficult environment to live in. Now, balance is not necessarily what I'm saying, but what I am proposing is that you're always working on something, and you're not working on it so much that it drains you. You may put it aside when you're working very hard at work. And it's almost like when work's really tough, this may take a back burner because you're already focusing that part of your brain, you're already focusing that part of your energy. But maybe when work's a little slower or medium paced, you're adding this in to give your mind that focus point, to give it that activity, to give it that progress marker. So the reason why planning something is so powerful is because it makes you feel like you're moving. And as humans, we need to feel like we're constantly moving in a direction towards something. Whether we're ambitious or not, we all need to feel like we're growing. We all need to feel like we are progressing in a direction. And when we choose to plan something, it creates a lot of that forward motion that's pulling us forward. Rather than you pushing yourself, you've now got something in the future pulling you. And I find that that can be a really powerful thing. Of course, you have to pick something that really is important to you. Don't pick to plan anything. But picking to plan something, what happens? You get to meet people around it. You get to go to new places because of it. You are taking on a new project. And that's where life starts to get more connected naturally, right? A big part of why we're struggling with mental health today is loneliness. We're feeling disconnected from people. And I found that when you build something with someone, when you do something with someone, it's so much more magical what you develop as a friendship. I think it's not explored enough today, but when you do something with someone that is active, proactive, building, planning, creating, the memories you build and the bond you build is far more than going to a number of parties with someone. It's just not the same thing. You could go to dinner with someone and it's not the same level as if you help them move home, right? You could go to dinner with someone and it's not the same as if you help them change a tire on their car. You could go to dinner with someone and it's not the same as if you put on an event for your community or organized your family's birthday or a getaway trip together, right? It's just not the same thing. And I think for a lot of us, we're trying to find connection across a table on a couch. And I'm not saying those things are wrong. I'm not saying they're bad and we need those things. But I found that the deepest, most powerful relationships I have are ones where we did things together. And I would encourage you all to find a friend, choose someone, or you'll find a friend through the process of planning something. And what you plan can be small. I'm not saying it has to be thousands of people. It can be a small thing at your child's school. It can be a small thing for your family at home. but planning something, working towards something, making yourself feel excited about something, because so much of the time we're struggling because we've lost that zest, we've lost that thrill, we've lost that excitement, and it's important that we bring it back. Number 3, get better at the things you're good at. A lot of the time when we're struggling with low confidence, it's because we actually are experiencing low competence, right? It's competence that builds confidence. It's competence that builds greater self-esteem. Confidence, by the dictionary definition, which I love, and by the way, when I pull out a definition, it's because I feel we're so unaware of it. The dictionary definition of confidence, one of them, is a feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's abilities and qualities. So when you get better at the things you're good at, it's more prominent to you and you're more able to give yourself that self-assurance. When we're good at something, we often say, I'm okay at that. But when you're bad at something, you're like, oh, I'm the worst, right? Notice that negativity bias creeping in. If you're good at something, you're like, I'm okay. If you're bad at something, you're like, yeah, I'm the worst. I'm the worst there possibly ever was, right? And we overhype it so hard. So getting better at the things you're good at gives you a sense of competence and confidence that won't come from anything else. And I think often we feel like, oh, if I got that job, I would feel better. If I was with that person, I would feel better. There's a lot of things we say to ourselves, if this, then that, right? But what about this idea that actually, when I get better, when I develop better skills, when I strengthen these muscles, when I strengthen these focus points, now I actually feel better about myself. Right? Instead of waiting for something external to happen to make us feel better, we're taking that into our own hands. We're taking accountability. We're taking responsibility. We're feeling a sense of my behavior matters. My action matters. We feel a sense of autonomy. We feel a sense of ownership. And that's such a powerful thing that we can help develop. So if you're good at something, or someone said you're good at something, go take a course on it. Go do an online program on it. Buy a book about it and study it all weekend. Go to an evening class. Whatever it is, like, get stuck in. It could be something like pottery. It could be an art class. Maybe you were great at doing comic book sketches when you were young. It could be a cake baking class, right? Whatever it is, something you enjoy. Again, you'll naturally meet people. Again, you'll naturally be learning. You'll naturally be growing. What happens is you're making all of the areas of your life that you're struggling with easier to do. I'll be honest, managing money has always been something I've had to stay mindful about. It feels like everywhere you turn, someone's trying to make you spend. That's where Acorns comes in. Acorns is a financial wellness app that makes it easy to start saving and investing for your future. You don't need to be an expert. Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that matches you and your money goals. You don't need to be rich. Acorns lets you get started with the spare money you've got right now, even if all you've got is spare change. Sign up now and join the over 13 million all-time customers who have already saved and invested over $22 billion with Acorns. Plus, Acorns will boost your new account with a $20 bonus investment. Offer available at acorns.com/purpose. That's acorns.com/PURPOSE to get your $20 bonus investment today. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Tier 6 compensation provided. Investment involves risk. Acorns Advisors LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/purpose.
I'm Cheryl Swoops, WNBA champ, 3-time Olympian, and Basketball Hall of Famer. I'm a mom, and I'm a woman.
I'm Tarika Foster Brasby, journalist, sports reporter, basketball analyst, a wife, and I'm also a woman.
And on our new podcast, we're talking about the real obstacles women face day to day.
See, athlete or not, we all know it takes a lot as women to be at the top of our game.
We want to share those stories about balancing work and relationships, motherhood, career shifts. You know, just all the shit we go through.
Because no matter who you are, there are levels to what we experience as women.
And T and I, well, we have no problem going there.
Listen to Levels to This with Cheryl Swoops and Tarika Foster Brasby, an iHeart Women's Sports production in partnership with Deep Blue Sports and Entertainment. You can find us on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey y'all, Nimini here. I'm the host of a brand new history podcast for kids and families called Historical Records. Executive produced by Questlove, The Story Pirates, and John Glickman, Historical Records brings history to life through hip-hop.
Smash, slam, another one gone. Bash, bam, another one gone. The crack of the bat and another one gone. The tip of the cap, cause another one gone.
Each episode is about a different inspiring figure from history, like this one about Claudette Colvin, a 15-year-old girl in Alabama who refused to give up her seat on the city bus 9 whole months before Rosa Parks did the same thing. Check it.
And if you get with me, did you know, I wouldn't give up my seat. 9 months before Rosa, it was Claudette Colvin.
Get the kids in your life excited about history by tuning in to Historical Records. Because in order to make history, you have to make some noise. Listen to Historical Records on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Now, this point, number 5, is actually something that I came across last Christmas. And so Radhi and I, we always go back to London and we try and spend a lot of quality time with our family because, of course, we live in another country and we don't get to see them as much. And so we had taken a little trip to the countryside with our family. And my niece and nephew are 8 and 4, and they're adorable and wonderful. And my sister-in-law had brought them these coloring books, but when you then finished coloring and you stuck the pieces together, it was an ornament for the Christmas tree. Now, I joined in with the activity. I think the whole family did actually, because we thought we'd had quite a busy run and this was quite a calming exercise. And then I started looking into some of the research behind it. And I was reading something from Dan Brennan, MD, and he was talking about how actually coloring books are not just for kids. They can be used by adults. And coloring relaxes your brain and improves brain function. He says when you're coloring, you're focused on the simple activity in front of you. This begins to relax your mind and keep your thoughts from intruding. Now, I found that especially when I was coloring in between the lines, when I was trying to do something quite intricate, it was really present work. And he goes on to talk about how it induces a meditative state. He mentions that adult coloring doesn't replace art therapy, but it can be therapeutic for some people. Some studies have shown that focusing on the complex structure of your coloring page can help put your mind into a meditative state. So for those of you that struggle to meditate or struggle to feel like you know how to meditate, this is a great way of just taking a moment to be more present. He also goes on to say how it improves sleep. Right? If you color before bed, Dan Brennan says, you're likely to sleep better than if you scrolled on your phone. Exposure to blue light from your phone or tablet, of course, we know that can hinder our quality of sleep. But he says by coloring in a book before bed instead, you're keeping electronics out of the bedroom, allowing your melatonin level to release naturally as your body gets ready for sleep. So there's so many benefits.